All right.
All right. So today I'm talking here with Dave, who is a co-host for the San Diego Tinnitus Support Group. And Dave would like to share with us a story about his tinnitus journey and what techniques or therapies he found to be most effective for him. So, Dave, the floor is yours.
All right. I'll try to be brief. And I like your term journey because I think it's a journey we all take, and everyone is a little bit different. And for me personally, uh, 2012, so about 8 years ago, I think I got tinnitus through a viral infection. I was traveling on an airplane and I came home from Indonesia and Tokyo with a cold. Then I had one bout of vertigo. And after that, it was tinnitus 724, loud. Mine happens to be mostly in my left ear, but sometimes seems like it's in the middle of my head. It was interesting. I kind of break into the phases. First was I was physically ill. I didn't feel well. And I went to see doctors. I wasn't getting sleep. I had a series of tests. I had CRT, MRI, blood tests. I mean, everything we could think of, I had. And I was almost disappointed every time I got the results. And they said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
I wanted there to be something wrong so you could fix it. So I kind of went through that phase and exhausted, at least I thought I exhausted traditional medicine. Again, I included allergists, I included everything I could get my general practitioner to send me to, I went to. But then I tried alternative medicines, acupuncture, cranial sacral massage, cryogenics, sauna, chiropractors, again, even some crazier things. Doctor who looked at my blood under a microscope and told me what I was deficient in. I tried all of these along with a lot of things you see in the back of magazines and various places that people send you cures for tinnitus or tinnitus. None of them worked. So I went from there pretty much to psychiatrists and therapists. I said, maybe I am crazy because I just can't get over this. And honestly, I felt the psychiatrists didn't help me too much. They sent me through a series of antidepressants to help me sleep. And I tried each one dutifully, went through the 3 or 4 weeks of dealing with the side effects and seeing if they might work. And I probably tried 5 different types of drugs, and none of them worked for me. Also, had an anticonvulsant. That was an interesting one. But again, that didn't work. And finally, they gave me some anti anxiety drugs, which I've taken from time to time. But I will say today, I take no drugs other than something for my high blood pressure, which, and not very much at that. So again, kind of went through the psychiatrist, then therapists, a little more helpful, although it took me, I was lucky I had a resource through work where I could go see a therapist and they paid for it. Um, it took me 3 different therapists before I found one I was comfortable with. And she was good to work with. She really encouraged me to try a lot of things. Again, I tried a different allergist. I went to go see another doctor, one who specializes here in San Diego. Uh, some may know him as Dr. Dizzy, but nonetheless, I went to go see him, and I didn't get that much help, but I really liked working with her, and she also kind of got me maybe to the next stage, which is, I'd call kind of the enlightenment stage, where I started to work more on diet, meditation, a little bit of cognitive therapy, and then I loosely use the word uh, NLP or neuro linguistic programming, but that's just my way of saying I ran into a therapist who, basically got me to stop thinking about tinnitus negatively. And it sounds horrible to say, and I didn't mention that again. With the doctors, I had waited for months to see a specialist. I'd go in the office for a 10-minute visit, and the result was you're just going to have to learn to live with it. And I got the same thing from a therapist. And I thought these people, I said, if that's the result, I don't want to live. I mean, I kind of got to that place, but I didn't think I'd get emotional. But at the end of the day, though, again, seeing this other doctor and starting to think about tinnitus is just a thing, and not really allowing myself to use negative language. Like I would never say, and I'll violate what I don't do right now, but I'll never say it's killing me, or I can't stand it anymore, or I'm fighting it. You know, I more had to get into the realm of, you know, it's just a noise. It's there. It may be there. It may get louder. It may not. And I'm amazed. Like talking to you about it, it gets louder. But the amazing thing is, I don't care. I've really gotten to the point where I've convinced myself I don't care if it's there. And so again, I really think that along with the meditation, that's how I met you, and why I'm going through your 7-day challenge is to learn to be more effective at meditation. Because again, that along with thinking about things differently, and again, meditation, there are a lot of commonalities, right? It's the whole thing of having a thought, letting something happen, but not judging it, just letting it happen. And again, that's kind of where I'm at. I think I'm kind of continuing my journey, but I'm more in continued discovery phase, really trying to see how I can improve on what I do. I mean, I still don't sleep really well, but okay. I mean, I may wake up in the middle of the night and I will hear the tinnitus. I'm not really looking for it, but it's there. But I don't worry about it. I also don't worry about whether I'll get back to sleep. I just kind of lie there, sometimes listen to a podcast through headphones. Eventually, I know I will fall asleep, and I do. So again, things to keep working on. I find that, again, the meditation and the way I think about things, I'm trying to bring that into other areas. I noticed even last night, you know, when I do a lot of physical exercise. So as I'm lifting weights with my son, I'm conscious of my breathing, same kind of thing. But again, and I would say that the other thing I'm trying to work on a little bit is just getting my diet a little bit better. And I would say it's the same thing. It's kind of being mindful when I eat, right? Just thinking about what I'm eating, and not eating while I'm watching television, not eating while I'm doing, you know, 2 or 3 other things. So again, I like to think it's all coming together. I'm definitely at a place now where, you know, I think I can live with it. Let's put it that way. I don't think that it's the end of my life, the end of my enjoyment. So that's really about all I have to say, Ben. I don't know if you have any other questions.
Thank you for sharing, Dave. My question is, for someone who's in your position, similar to where you were, you had seen more than 10 specialists, it seems, and you've tried different techniques. What kind of advice would you give for someone in that position who hears you now and thinks, wow, I want to be where Dave is at. He seems to have better control over his life related to the tinnitus. So what kind of advice would you give to someone who's in that position?
Well, you know, what kind of kept me going was I didn't give up. I didn't despair. And I kept looking for something. Now, I'm always careful to say, don't try 10 things at once, because you won't know if what you're trying is effective. But outside of all the quick cures and, you know, hoping for the magic bullet, I think seeing a therapist was helpful, just to have someone who is non-judgmental to bounce things off of. And they also, I mean, for me, it was more of a coach on new things I might try, right? She helped me with diet and a few other things. And I thought that was very useful. So I think, you know, again, don't give up, get some help. I mean, I suppose I generally comment that I didn't like any of the antidepressants or anxiety meds, but, you know, for some people, they may be on the part of their journey where they need that to cope for a period of time. But I would say just, keep doing it. The other thing, the original leader for the tinnitus support group in San Diego would say, look at a lot of different things. And if you can find many things that help you to get just a little bit better, to make it a little bit more tolerable, all those things together. So for me, again, diet, meditation, the way I think, attending your seminars. I mean, these things are all very useful, and I think they add up. And I guess the only other thing I would say is meditation, diet, anything, it takes practice. I mean, don't expect to just try it and it's going to fix you that day. I think the therapist I saw that got me into NLP a bit, she would always say, fake it till you make it, so just try it. And I would say I tried it. And after, 3 or 4 weeks of telling myself not to say negative things, to tell myself to stop when I was ruminating on a negative thought, to get up and write down things I'm thankful for. It worked.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dave. Really appreciate you sharing your perspective. And my name is Dr. Ben, audiologist and tinnitus specialist with Pure Tinnitus. So we're going to sign off. You can find Dave. You can find Dave if you're looking for a local support group in the San Diego area, and you can find me through the Pure Tinnitus online community. So thanks, guys.